Well. What's up? What's up? Y'all know how we do it. 313, that's the place to be. This is where God lives. It's called What Up, Doe. Look, I'm your host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony Shannon, a prophet you can trust. We are here again. I want to thank all of you that tune in week after week. Check us out. Listen, this is called Leading from the Future. That's right, where tomorrow's breakthroughs meet today's assignment. Whether you're a marketplace innovator, ministry trailblazer, or visionary still sketching the dream on a napkin, listen, this space was designed just for you. Each episode with your host, Dr. Anthony Shannon, a prophetic voice, a seasoned pastor, leadership strategist. I pull back the curtains on the next era of influence by bringing you some of the best innovators, some of the best authors, some of the best entrepreneurs, so that you can learn from what they go through of this era of what we call kingdom principles, power, cutting edge technology, testimonies of resilience, overcoming, and generosity outspaces scarcity. And listen, right here at Leading from the Future, the leaders that come in here don't just respond to trends, they set them. They're trailblazers, I promise you. So lean in as you always do and expect fresh insight, fearless faith, and practical tools that equip you to stand in your present, but lead from your God-given future. And the future isn't coming, it's calling. And together we're answering. Well, let me tell you, I've done it again. I promise you I did. I did not leave you stranded. I did not leave you by yourself. I brought in, I waited for this. I wanted the community to understand that we have 1 + 1 = 2. So you don't just get one, you get 1 + 1 that equals 2. Two dynamic, I mean, trailblazing in everything they do. Here, let me tell you, I want you to meet the dynamic power couple that is transforming legacy and leadership through creativity, strategy, and purpose. That's right. This is, man, I've been knowing him for a long time. He's a good friend, but let me tell you, he is a business extraordinaire. We call him Delano A. Johnson, globally recognized brand strategist, best-selling author. He's from the Bahamas. And guess what? He's known for empowering entrepreneurs and ministry leaders to discover their voice, build powerful personal brands. He has over 25 years of experience. That's what I told you. Boy, he has written books like The Brand New You and Refused to Live Talented and Broke. He is a voice of clarity for those ready to turn vision into legacy. He was mentored by the late Dr. Miles Munroe. And guess what? Married to the one and only Monique Lisa Johnson. She's an award-winning playwright, director, CEO of Monique Lisa Productions. Her All My Struggle series captivated audiences at the Apollo Theater. She has guided over 3,000 writers to publish their stories through ghostwriting and coaching. Her work across film, TV, theater empowers creators to lead with authenticity and purpose. And together, man, they are ushering in the next generation of Delano, now inheriting the president for Power Networking Experience PNX, building bridges for legacy, minded leaders to network, elevate, and to what? Thrive in 2025. They not playing. I want you to welcome, first time to this stage, leading from the future. They ain't behind. I'm telling you, they are in front, leading you to where you need to be. You better give a hand clap, stand on your feet, backwards flip, but tell somebody, welcome Delano A. Johnson, and welcome the one and only Monique Johnson. Come on, somebody. Come on in here.
Woo!
Here.
Hey, what an intro. Now bro, I got to take you on the road. I got to take you on the road with me. Either you going to record that or I got to take you on the road with me.
I think I nailed you.
Nah, yeah, man, you nailed it. I'm not, shoot, you got to record it or you got to come with me because I'm not going to go on stage now unless I hear that.
Well, when you know somebody a while and you know who they are, you can put something together that's real, authentic, right? That is who you really, really are. You know, not fluff, not stuff, letting people know this is the real deal. You understand? This is
Yeah.
who this power couple is and who they have become and who they are leading out to be. Come on, somebody. Amen.
Hmm.
First of
Amen.
all,
Amen.
welcome both of you. Appreciate you coming here. You're doing a lot, you're handling a lot, and there's a lot to cover in this space. Well, first of all, we always like to start this way. We'll start with you, Delano A. Johnson. Tell everybody who you are, where you from, who is your parents, and the same will go to you, Monique.
Mm. Well, my name is Delano A. Johnson, son of Granville and son of Mama Rose, affectionately known Osley Delancey, and the great grandson of Bertram Johnson, who was the first Black business owner of a laundry business in the Bahamas. And my father was the first Black executive chef in the Bahamas, also the executive chef for the first prime minister of the Bahamas. And my grandmother, she was the first seamstress for the first lady of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Island. So there's a number of firsts in my heritage. Me being one of the first to actually create an animation series in the Bahamas, and then also within the country, we were a gospel artist group, one of the first to actually be nominated for a Grammy award. So, who says that success isn't hereditary?
That's some good pedigree, my brother.
It is. So I'm blessed, and I'm favored, and more than anything else, I have a wonderful partner in all of what I do. I could think it, but this woman here can make it come to pass. Right? You give her a seed, you're gonna get a tree in a couple of days. That's how it is. And so I just thank God for her, man. And that's who I am. I'm a lover of all things creative. I love the creative process. I believe that God, before we knew his name, Yahweh, that he was simply known as the creator. Because we just beheld everything in front of us that he created. So I have an affinity for those who have a passion for creativity, those who want to understand their gifts and their talents, and then put those things to work. And my beautiful bride, my partner, my co-writer, she is all that in a bag of chips, and that is my beautiful wife, Miss Monique Lisa Johnson.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, babe. I appreciate that. And as he said, my name is Monique Lisa Johnson, writer, director, and producer of stage, film, and books, 45-time nominated playwright, and 26-time awarded playwright. I am the only independent writer and playwright that's ever sold out the Apollo Theater 5 times, 4 times in the same year. I have helped and I have to give credit to where it's due. Since we have this amazing club on Clubhouse, I was able to coach over 3,000 people in 18 months just because they wanted to come into these rooms and write these stories. And one of the best books that I've ever written was written by Delano A. Johnson, Refuse to Live Talented and Broke. So I know that everything that has happened up until this time is because of my relationship with God and this amazing man in my life. I am the second daughter of Michael and Marcia Paris, both hailing from Jamaica, big ups to the island. Everybody tries to be like Jamaica, but there's only one Jamaica.
Mega man.
Birthplace of Bob Marley. And I come from a family of musicians as well as doctors and lawyers. But the one thing I know that is important to us is creativity. So that's who we are. That's who I am. And with that, you know how we say on Clubhouse, I'm complete.
Well, this is already great. This is a good start. Let's deal with this before we even get into this other thing. Let's deal with the history of how you were mentored by the late Dr. Miles Munroe. And what are one or two lessons that changed your life forever, Delano?
Wow. So I moved from Freeport, Grand Bahama, which is an island in the Bahamas. There's over 700 islands. Nassau being the capital is where Dr. Munroe lived and where the church resided. I moved over there because I was interested in a music group that happened to be a part of his church. My brother Pedro had kind of turned me on to the music scene there. I was always interested in music, had a career, charted out first in architecture and civil engineering. I decided to go into music because no one in the family had actually done that and conquered it. And so on going into Nassau, I was introduced to the church. And when I got there and I heard it for the first time, I heard Dr. Munroe speak for the first time. And it was like he was saying everything that God had spoken to me. It was if he was in on the conversation that I've been having, or I'd had for many, many years. And even since a child, just certain things that I would read in the scriptures, it was like he knew those conversations, or he had privy to those conversations. And so, I went up to him and I said, your words really touched me and just basically transformed my thinking, and it allowed me to attach what I thought was possible to how it can become possible. And from there, I just became a part of the ministry. The group that I was a part of, called System 3, we were the first group out of the church. And because Dr. Munroe himself was a musician, a very accomplished musician at that, he had a group when I was a kid. It was called the Visionaires, and they were like, they were like Kirk Franklin back in the day. They were on the cutting edge. The music was really nice, and the young people loved it. And he himself was a young musician, and so I think he kind of took an affinity to me being the musician of the group, and the lead singer. And he just took me under his wing. So we traveled with him for many, many years. And whenever I would go on stage, before we would actually open for him at mega positions. I mean, there was one time when TBN called and said they wanted him to come at the Shrine Auditorium in LA. And he said, I want you guys to come. And so just many, many doors open, because I think he saw himself in us. And whatever he thought he could have done further, I think vicariously did that through us and his mentoring. And so I was very, very privileged to be able to sit with him at his home, know his wife, loving woman, really strong woman of God. Many people see him, they don't really understand the strength behind his success. And that was really his wife. She held it down. And listen, she was quiet in public, but in her domain, like that's her place. Like she understood, like, this is my house. This is like you knew it was her domain. She wasn't quiet at all in that environment. So
elevate your mindset with Radiant Achievers, illuminating radiance and influence. An anthology curated by Dr. Jacqueline Mohair. Immerse yourself in stories that promise not just inspiration, but tangible takeaways from contributors like Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Gain insights from individuals who've excelled in business and left a lasting impact in their communities. This anthology isn't just about success stories. It's a guide to wisdom and practical strategies for your own journey. Radiant Achievers brings together diverse voices, including the faith-filled perspective of Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon, creating a powerful narrative of empowerment. Are you ready to transform your perspective? Order Radiant Achievers by reaching out to us, or order your copy on Amazon now. Let the stories within, enriched by Dr. Shannon's insights, ignite your passion for business, community, and the actionable steps towards your own radiant success. Illuminate your path to greatness today.
Leaders don't wait for change, they create it. Champions don't walk alone, they stand together in faith. In this great collaboration, this is your invitation to the Leaders Live Generously Prayer Breakfast of Champions, a gathering of visionaries, believers, and world changers. Where? I'm telling you, 32747 Grand Traverse, August 30th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. It will be a morning of revelation, restoration, and renewed strength. Isaiah 40:31 says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They'll mount up with wings as eagles. You know it's your time to soar. I need you to come expecting divine encounters, prophetic impartation, kingdom connections that will shift your life forever. Don't miss this moment with destiny, because when leaders pray, heavens move. I want to see you there. Click now on the link. This is Dr. Prophet Anthony Shannon signing out. I'll see you in the place.
Hey, this is Delano A. Johnson, the president of FraserNet, CEO Creativity, better known as the Master Brand Architect, and you are watching Leading from the Future with Dr., Pastor, and the Prophet Anthony D. Shannon.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $ Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the VChurch app. Go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App, $ the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
I had a very, very good opportunity to be mentored by him, and I'm fortunate for the lessons. One of the biggest lessons I can tell you right now was marriage. If marriage was a sport, the way that you would win it is by dying.
Wow. Now that's
Think
the
about
word.
that.
Wow.
Yeah. The only way, because the vow is until death do us part. So that's
Right.
the only way you win. Matter of fact, ain't nobody gonna be there cheering for you except God. When you die, you wake up and God say, "Oh, you won." What did I win? You stayed married until death do you part. You here now. You won. You know, and so that's what I saw. I saw 2 people whose lives were so intertwined that the timing of their lives were so in sync that they left and they finished at the same time.
Yes, sir.
So they won together. They did what they were supposed to do. So that lesson, I mean, it really touched me. As a matter of fact, when I was, and I'm going to kind of cut it short here, but the last time I saw her at the church, which was on November it was a week before the untimely accident. But it was a week before, and she was talking to all of the ladies who they hadn't seen them for a month because they was in Africa for a month. Right. And so everybody would say, "Hey, what did you do? You were in Africa." Yeah, so
that last Sunday, right?
The last Sunday before
that's right.
The Sunday. Yeah.
Right.
And so she was like, "Oh, what did you do? What did you do?" And she would say, "Yeah, Miles and I, we went here and blah, 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 and we was in Swaziland and we was hanging out with the king Swaziland, blah, blah, and they was that's great. Yeah. So what did you do? What else did you do?" Right. And then finally, a lady in the crowd say, okay, Ruth, what did you do? Like, what did you do? Where did you get your hair done? Or she said, "Oh, no. Everything my husband did, we did together." She's like, wherever he went, I went. Wherever I went, he went. He's like, whatever we did together. And that was the last thing I remembered her saying. Like it just stuck with me. So number one, greatest lesson is marriages until death do you part. You can only win the game of marriage when you die. And then secondly, it is to live humbly.
Mm,
It doesn't matter how much success you have. He stayed in the same size house when he could afford 10, 12 times the size.
mm,
But it wasn't needed.
mm.
Like he was comfortable in a specific lifestyle. He had the car that he'd always wanted, which was a Jaguar, and because of him, I bought a Jaguar. My first car was a Jaguar, and so I think at the end of the day, those two things really, really stuck with me. And I always tell Monique this. I said, we going when we leave, we're gonna leave together. I'm not leaving you here.
I know that's
You know what the man gonna happen? No,
right.
we gonna be going together. So that's the two biggest things that I really took away from Donovan. Out of the many, many, many a personal message, a personal mentoring and words from him. So yeah,
Wow, that was profound, man. I do remember that when you were telling me that the ladies was asking her,
yeah,
what did you do? What you gonna do? And they said, no, no, no. What was your purpose out there? What was you? And
yeah.
she
Why
said,
were you?
my purpose is his purpose.
That's it.
What he do is what I do.
You
And
couldn't
they were
separate them.
shocked. They couldn't believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Because
you, you
most
couldn't
women
separate.
trying to do it.
You couldn't separate them, and she understood the assignment and who he was.
Absolutely.
There's we're going to be working with Charo, his son, and we had this idea not too far after their passing is to create a film,
Yeah,
and something to really honor him, but also something to really shine the light on who Ruth Munroe was.
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
if you were in the circle, you really understood that to the 10th power.
Absolutely. Speaking of
Yeah,
that, Monique, let's ask you this question. You talked about 3,000 writers that you've been able to help, which is phenomenal. What inspired you, Monique, to help writers bring their books to life? And then what do you believe is the greatest barrier most people face when trying to write a book?
Great questions. Thank you for asking that.
Mm,
I In 2020, that was the time for us all to pivot
mhm,
because even though I had helped people with advice in the past and read scripts, my goal wasn't to actually start coaching. But what
mhm,
happened was we were all home and we were all a captive audience, and I found that once we had established that we would be on an app like Clubhouse, Delano created this incredible, even though he says we, but it was his vision from the beginning. We created an opportunity for people to be in the club that we had on Clubhouse. And so I started doing writing rooms. And in the beginning, those rooms would last 4 and 5 hours because again, we were home and everyone was focused on what's next. And so every day I was opening up rooms and actually helping people. And then I started bringing it together on Wednesdays, and I do Thursdays, and then I would do 4 or 5 hours at a time. So when I started to calculate how many people were coming on, once I hit 1,000 within the first 3 months, I said, oh my goodness gracious, these people are hungry to really figure out how to write a book. And I don't necessarily feel like I was facing challenges, but what I was doing was helping people to understand how important their own personal story was, not necessarily to become a New York Times bestseller or an Amazon bestseller. It wasn't for that. It was to really hone in on the fact that what they had gone through was important and could help someone else. So I really tried to make sure that as I was talking about, the different steps to writing, the entry point of writing, who is your audience? And if you find out who your audience is, what do they really need to know about your story? Not necessarily triggers, because some people feel as though triggering other people is a way to write a story, but you can actually write a story that kind of helps a person to go from A to B without feeling like, they're triggered because of maybe the things that you went through. So I really enjoyed the process of getting to know people, getting to know their stories, getting to know what they felt was an important story to tell. And then there were other people who weren't ready really to tell their story, but I could show them how to turn it into a novel. So they're doing it from the perspective of being a character, but not using their names. So really making sure people had the right entry point. Because if you look at a Michael Jordan, to me, his story would start the first time somebody put a basketball in his hand. Well, the first time he encountered Phil Jackson and his coach, and his coach said, listen, I'm the person to get you to that place to win those, different accolades that come with playing in the NBA. And so I've enjoyed the process, but that was my pivot, to be honest, that was my pivot, because for me, I was helping people who were already doing live productions. But when the earth shut down and we were all shut in, I decided to just say, hey, we're working on some stuff. People are asking questions. So why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Well, this is so good and so wonderful. Let me ask another question before we take this break. And that is this. First of all, how did y'all meet each other, and who said what to who to get to this point? Was it her say, hey, baby, or was it him say, hey, or was it like, what's up?
I
How did
robbed
y'all meet?
I robbed the cradle. I robbed the cradle. I knew that someone, the personality that Delano has, he's the type of person where he leads with intelligence. Like when he
Uh-huh,
speaks to you, you know that this brother has a good head on his shoulders. So I think I fell in love with his intelligence before I fell in love with him, because he's so
uh-huh.
smart, and then he's handsome on top of that. So he'll say it was me. He was in the cradle. I saw him, picked him up. Was like, hey, what you doing? And then went from there. Right, babe.
Babe, you make it sound like you old. You're not that old. I mean,
No,
you're not.
I
You
never
still
said old.
young. Okay, because you're saying
I never
robbing the
said that.
cradle.
Rob the cradle means maybe you're not old.
Yeah.
You got to
I'm
drive it.
I'm not too sure about it because this Greg keep on reminding me here.
Yeah.
Um, you know, coming out of a divorce, which really rocked my whole life and philosophy.
Yeah.
3 beautiful kids. And she was an amazing person. And I didn't understand permanence,
Mm,
and that permanence is temporary.
mm-hmm,
That's the nature of permanence under heaven. There's a
mm-hmm.
time and a season to everything under heaven. So long as I'm under heaven, there's a time allotted. It has to run a course and a cycle to accomplish this very specific thing. And for us, those things are lessons. And so um, I'd gone through the marriage courses at Bahamas Faith Ministries, Dr. Miles Munroe. The course from all of his teachings is comprised. And so in order for them to marry you, you had to go through this 9-month course. And I went through that 3 times.
Wow.
I was sure that my marriage was fireproof, divorce proof, affair proof, weatherproof. I was so certain of it, and because that was something I always wanted, is to have a family. And so when that happened, when I realized what had happened, and it was the fact that I didn't have the patience enough to allow permanence to do its job.
Mm.
And permanence has to remind temporal that it only has a season. And so I just wasn't there, because when you're young, someone said the other day, when you look back at your young self, you realize how ignorant you was.
Absolutely.
But you didn't know that then.
Mm-mm. No.
You don't know that then. And so for me, that when I went through that, I realized that I had to choose wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Because the conversation I had with Dr. Munroe, I said, you taught me all this stuff, and I said it didn't work. And he looked at me. He was behind his computer. He was working, and he looked at me. He stopped, and he said, "Don't try to blame me on that. I say, you made the decision." He said, "You made the choice. You live in the house. You build a house. You got to live in." He said, "That ain't got nothing to do with me." And I said, "Well, didn't you say, well, if the students didn't learn, it's the teacher's fault?" And then he went quiet. So, but after that major failure, as far as I was concerned, I just knew that this idea of this person in my head wasn't a figment of my imagination, but I could project that in reality. And so,
Mm,
and when I saw the raw material in Monique, that she would allow me to do that.
that's
Because you
powerful.
see, Christ, man, he manages
Mhm,
and he takes care of the church
mhm.
to present her to
Yeah.
himself.
Mhm,
A what? A
yeah.
bride.
Mhm,
And so she allows me to do the work that I know my helpmate needs so that I can do what God told us to do
mhm.
together. And so and so my patience, I don't know where I got it from, but well, hard knocks, right? You learn. I don't want to, somebody say you want to be broke, keep getting divorced and see what happens at the end of the fifth one. you're gonna you're gonna be on them lines in in New York with them food banks, you know what I mean? So 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 I wanted to make sure that I didn't repeat the same offenses to myself and to God. And then I wanted to also make sure that my children had a visual perspective of success in a marriage. They didn't see me with any other woman after their mom except Monique. And my son said something when we got married. He said this to Monique. He said, "You know what? I see who you are,
Mm,
and I can see the difference in my dad and who
wow.
he is.
Wow.
Thank you for creating the environment for him to be happy." That's what my oldest son said, because he's been
Wow.
around the longest. He saw that, and
Powerful.
he said that. Yeah, he said that to Monique. So a lot of people think that you can't recover, you can't come back, but like LL Cool J say, don't call it a comeback, just call it a stay back.
Yes.
Right? I'm gonna stay right here and until this thing works. So that was one of the things that really attracted me to Monique, that quality in her to
Yeah.
allow someone to, even though she can do it all by herself, even though she's extremely talented and gifted and she's wise too,
Hmm.
just not knowledgeable, but she's wise. And
Hmm.
so for her to allow me to be the wise one, even though she know the answer, like that
Hmm.
takes a lot. And it
Yes, it
causes
does.
me to submit to her even more and more and more. Women don't understand
Absolutely.
that trick, babe. We gotta package that and sell that to women.
Hmm.
They don't understand that. It disarms me, because no man who married to a good woman, and I don't even know, boy, you're supposed to be going on a break. You can get me preaching now. Go ahead, man. Let me stop talking. Let me stop talking. You get me preaching now.
See, we
Come on.
pull all that out of you. You understand? That's how we do it. Every person that come on,
Ah,
that's how we pull
I'm
it out.
telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Well, listen, everybody, if you're now just tuning in, you're tuning in to Leading from the Future. I'm your host, Dr. Pastor Anthony D. Shannon, and we have been listening to Delano A. Johnson and Monique Lisa Johnson. It's been amazing. It's been fantastic. And listen, we just going to take a break because we always give you an opportunity, amen, to sow into this broadcast. You know, this broadcast goes all over the world. You can get us on Apple TV, Hulu. You can get us on Roku. And listen, we can stream it even on all the social medias of YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. But I'm excited. You can get us on TV. What you talking about? And so we always ask at least 10 of you to sow a seed, $500, $1,000, $200. You can do it even Cash App or the V Church app. It's so simple and easy right from your cell phone. You can make it happen. And you know what we always tell you, that if you help somebody else, God himself is going to help you, right? So all you're doing is circulating. You're not spending, you're circulating. Spending means in, circulate means it's coming back. I promise you, this is good ground. It's coming back to you. We also want to encourage you to get the new book, the latest book, Sacred Success. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this book, Sacred Success. Unlocking God given prosperity. Teaching you, number one, that it's okay to have prosperity. Just don't let money and material have you, but you can have it all day long. Do you hear what I'm saying? And God wants you to understand what it is to get it from his perspective. He doesn't try to take nothing from you, he's trying to get it all to you. we want you to reach out. Get this book, Sacred Success. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on our website at thevictorychurch.int.org.
Here at the Victory Church, we are a teaching church, and who better to learn from than our very own Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. He's written a book entitled Live Generously. That's right, if you are ready to embrace biblical principles about money and to learn about God's financial management and even about the joys of trusting God through giving, it's time for you to live generously. Get this book today. Purchase it for $20 here at the church, or you can purchase it in ebook form on our website for $14.99. That's right. Go ahead and visit our website, thevictorychurchint.org. You want to get this book if you are ready to go to another level and embrace God's biblical principles about money. Are you unshakable? We know you can't stop the storms of life, but you can discover how to be unshakable. If you're ready to learn how to overcome family challenges, illness, financial stress, and more, you need this book, Unshakable, written by Nelson Searcy. And the foreword was written by our very own Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Get this book, Unshakable, today for only $20 at the church. And you can also email us at tvci.executiveoffice@gmail.com. Get Unshakable today. It is God's desire that you overcome obstacles, even in less than optimum circumstances. Get these books today to live your best life. And here at the Victory Church, as we say, success is the only option.
Introducing to you Leaders Live Generously Academy, a coaching program designed just for you, with yours truly, Dr. Anthony D. Shannon. That's right. Listen, I want you to understand that Leaders Live Generously Academy is where ambition meets purpose and success is redefined. Imagine a place where you don't have to choose between making a meaningful impact and achieving financial prosperity, where your pursuit of success harmonizes perfectly with your values of family and faith. At our academy, we understand that true leadership is about living generously, leading with integrity, and creating a legacy that transcends financial achievements. Under the guidance and the coaching of Dr. Anthony D. Shannon, I am a renowned expert in leadership with over 30 years of experience. Listen, not only do we teach you leadership, we teach you personal development. You'll discover your unique purpose. Learn to maintain balance in all aspects of your life. And I want you to unlock strategies for wealth creation. Why don't you join me and let me help you transform your vision of success, lead with generosity, and live a life filled with purpose. I want you to start your journey today at Leaders Live Generously Academy. It's the coaching program designed for you. It's where we teach you to lead, to love, to give. It's transformative leadership, because the best leaders are those who live generously. Come join the academy, and your coaching program starts right now.
And hey everyone, it is Monique Lisa Johnson, writer, director, and producer, and you're watching Leading from the Future with the only Dr. Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Stay tuned.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the VChurch app. Go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App, $the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
All right. Well, listen, we are back again with our special guests, Delano A. Johnson and Monique Lisa Johnson. Listen, this has been incredible. Did you hear? If you didn't, you're going to have to rewatch this because they start talking about how they met and she robbed the cradle and he got off into, how she had all this stuff, packaged up that just melted his heart, his intelligence and everything. Okay, y'all just going to have to go listen to that. But now we have both of you as a couple. So what's it like then working together as a married couple on such high impact platforms?
Babe, I'll let you go first.
Absolutely. And I guess I don't want to say this is a missing element in everyone's marriage, but when you're friends first and you get opportunities to work together, it's not for show when other people are around. Delano and I, we love movies. We like to go for walks. There's a specific ice cream that we like. There's television shows that we like, and then there's a time where we fast television and movies. We became friends first, and so working together, the House of Creativity and other things, it was just natural. I mean, I lead out in different things, he leads out in different things, but we like to be around each other, even if we're not talking about anything, even if we're not doing anything. There was a time when we were working on projects, we might not leave the house for 3-4 days. We might not leave the house for 2 weeks, and we don't get tired of each other. And if he needs his space and he wants to just listen to some music, he'll put his headsets on. My thing is, if I want to take a long bath, or if I want to, just maybe binge watch something that he may not be interested in, we just like being in the same area, in the same space. So working together is just like a no-brainer. Some people have to kind of gear up to work with each other. Our offices are not more than 10 feet apart, and we do what we need to do, but he'll say, babe, what you doing? Come take a break, or I'm like, babe, come, you hungry? So I think being friends first makes it easier to work together as opposed to someone feeling like they have to work with their spouse. You don't have to do anything, but if you have the good, a good foundation of just saying, we enjoy that time. When you enjoy that, it's not laborious, it's not work. Half the time you can't tell if we're working or just living. Because we're always together. We're always, I'll come in his office and, I like to if I know he's intently focused on something, I'll just bring a tray of food in and he'll be like, thanks, babe. And I'm like, you're welcome. Or I'll sneak up behind him and kiss him on the back of his neck. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, no, you're still working. Please do what you got to do. Stay focused.
I'm going to show you all the proof.
You had the tray there? You had the tray?
So I'm working. Right? And she brings me this. And so, and like I do breakfast in the morning. So we do, fresh fruit. So I make the fruit and cut them up, exotic fruits and all that stuff in the morning. And she makes the stuff on Wednesday. We do pizza or I cook. And then on Friday, definitely is pizza day. And there's a pizza that we really love. Here's the thing with marriage. I don't think in God's original design that it was designed for you to work apart. Even though you may be in a different locale, the goal is still the same. And I think that common interest of achieving that end goal of all your toil and your work, right? Work is the passage of, is a pathway of converting potential energy to actual energy, or kinetic energy, as we call it. So, the fact that we enjoy and we have like-mindedness with the goal, I just have an extra brain, an extra two set of eyes, and I have X amount of years of wisdom extracted from experiences to be able to use as a soundboard to make something better.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I see it. It's like together I'm 50 something and she's 50 something. I mean, this is gonna give it away, babe. So at the end of the day, we both have this passion, and I'm telling you, I was very meticulous in making the choice because I realized that's where I messed up. In my first marriage, I wasn't paying attention to of the all of the spoiler alerts. When people would say something and they would say, "Oh, this is this." So those very same things that came up again many years, I was like, "Oh, I could remember someone saying X, Y, and Z. I can remember her mama saying X, Y, and Z. I remember her sisters and something saying X, Y, and Z." It doesn't mean that that's a problem. It just means that that particular thing, if you're not designed to actually gel with that or connect with that, right? You don't have the positive to that negative. Then all you're going to do is put a positive and a positive together and it's going to repel. You're going to put a negative together, it's going to repel. They're not going to come together. And so that's the yin and yang, So with Monique, I was a little bit more meticulous and prayerful in terms of, okay, I'm not going to make this mistake again. And I would tell her, I said, listen, we dated for 10 years. Some women just write me off. Just now, whoever it is, that Negro been for 10 years. Girl, I would have done been pack up and left him. Yeah, I would have done been gone.
Yeah.
Like they would have done all of that stuff, right? But this woman waited. So you think I'm not going to choose her?
Absolutely.
Because she honored my process? That's why I chose her, because she honored my process. She knew that I was dead set on not being divorced again. Because 74%, right now it is 63% of all marriages, including Christian marriages.
Yeah.
The church is now grafted into that demographic, into that statistical data. One time ago, you could have separated it, but you can't do that now. And so 74% of second marriages failure rate.
Wow.
72% of all divorces is initiated by the woman. So I wanted to make sure that she understood why we were coming together. And more importantly, if God gave me a work, he will take something away from me and give it to my mate, because that makes us dependent on each other.
Absolutely.
Remember, he put Adam to sleep, took something away from him, gave it to Eve, and he realized the shovel he had to pick on the shovel before he went to sleep. He had to dig holes and take care of the garden. He realized he woke up and the shovel was gone. And he looked over and he said, "Whoa, man, where you get that shovel from?" Right? So it made sense. She has what you need what she has. And that's what keeps the dependency for your collective interdependency.
Yeah.
That's what makes the marriage work for the long haul.
Wow. Did y'all hear them 24-karat gold bars just dropped right there for you? Nuggets of wisdom and giving you transparency of how to do it right the second time around. Wow, that's powerful.
What would it mean to you if you could finally write, sell, and launch your book? I know how frustrating it is to be on that roller coaster ride of trying to finish your book, not knowing where to start, not knowing where to connect the ideas and not really knowing how to get over that bump of feeling like you can't get it done. I've been there before. I know exactly how it feels. I know what it's like to get stuck trying to connect ideas and put your whole story together and feel like, man, what am I doing? My name is Monique Lisa, and I help writers write, launch, and sell their books. I also assist you in the whole process of figuring out if you should be self-publishing or going the traditional route. I created a mini writing course to help you to master your brand signature story, and I want to give you access to that right away. So what I need you to do is to click the link, I need your email so that you can get access to a free mini course to start you on your writing journey. Again, I need you to make sure that you click that link so that you can get access to this free training so that you can start to write your book. That's right, when you're done, you'll be able to write and outline your book. And I look forward to working with you. See you soon.
What if your story of faith could inspire generations? What if your testimony of resilience could ignite hope in others? Well, introducing The Faith Factor. It's a legacy project led by visionary Dr. Pastor Anthony D. Shannon. It's a moment where faith meets action and your voice really, really matters. We're calling authors, speakers, and those with a story of unshakable faith to join. It's a writing project that's going to be a legacy. Your story could be the breakthrough someone needs. Your words could change lives. Your faith could leave a lasting legacy for generations to come if you've overcome trials, experienced God's hand in your life, or have a testimony, not a testimony, that can transform others. This is your moment to shine. Why don't you apply today? Become a co-author, share your story of faith, and inspire generations to come. Don't just believe, take action. Your faith-filled words could be the key to someone else's breakthrough in this book. Because faith isn't just a belief, it's the key to transformation. Apply now at thefaithfactorbook.com. Say it again, thefaithfactorbook.com. I want to interview you right now.
Every day, without saying a word, your brand is communicating loudly, and it's shaping perceptions and influencing emotions and determining whether people trust you, buy from you, or forget you. The craziest part is that you may be completely unaware of how it's doing this. Symbols shape our reality, and they always have. Colors, sounds, images, and words have been used for centuries to control emotions and control perceptions. Think about it. Countries have flags, religions have icons, corporations have logos, and even civilizations have been built on the power of symbolic storytelling. And yet, most entrepreneurs, mom and pop storefronts, and even some mid-sized corporations today are completely blind to this truth. They're outsourcing identity development projects to novices who just learned Photoshop and Canva. They create logos without meaning, pick random colors, and hope you like and approve their work. Hi, my name is Delano A. Johnson, the president of FraserNet and the CEO of Creativity, better known as the Master Brand Architect.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the V-Church app. go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App, $ the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
Let's dive into this because I see time is slipping real quick. I can't believe how fast time goes. I didn't get to nothing I want to get to, but let me dive into this real quick. How did the opportunity to transition leadership of the Power Networking, now it's called the Power Networking Experience, come about first? And then two, what does continuing the Dr. George Frazier's legacy mean to each of you, personally and professionally?
Yeah, babe, I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna finish it off.
Well, you know, with any administration, when there's a changing of the guard, you have to not only change the administration, you also have to have a new vision. And with a new vision, you have to put new things in place. And so with the Power Networking Conference becoming the Power Networking Experience and Expo, that was the brainchild of Delano wanting to expand in those areas. And personally, to me, when I really look back on who Dr. George is and what he brought to the table in terms of power networking, I never heard of him before 2017. I never heard of him. And that's what happens when we're not exposed to, or people are not sharing the wisdom of who these people are. I went back in the archives and I saw a clip of him on CNN, and it just floored me when he said, when spiders unite, they can tie up a lion. And so I wasn't hearing that, not even in church circles, how much power we had. I'm coming from a dual background of growing up in the United States, in the Bronx, at a time where hip hop was just giving birth to itself. And I'm growing up in this situation, but I'm not considering myself a Black American, and I'm not considering myself a Jamaican American. I'm just considering myself an American. And as an American, and I still say African American, add that back in, I did not ever hear anyone talk about how networking the right way can build your business, can build your network. Your network worth is your network. I never heard those things. So personally, to me, Dr. George C. Frazier is the person who has really been at and stayed at the forefront and is the guru of networking. I understand reaching out to people. I innately reach out to people, but he took it to a whole nother level. His book, Click, amazing. Why? Because he said it's the timing, it's the fit, and it's the
Chemistry.
the timing, the fit, and the chemistry. So if you don't have all three of those things, it's like a seatbelt. If you don't hear the click, you may have it around you, but you don't necessarily have it working in the way that it was designed. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this new administration under this new president, leading out with this legacy and just doing the things that Delano knows what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do, but Dr. George trusting him is huge. To take on such a Herculean task as the Power Networking Now Experience and Expo. So glad to know him. He texts me every single day, whether it's something serious or something funny, and just to know that this person has been on this earth for 80 years, and I have only gotten to know him in the past 8 years. So a lot of time to make up. So while he's here, definitely want to honor him. Definitely want to honor him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, it's everything Monique said. And I look at how God does things as a snapshot to remind me that he's the one that's orchestrating this movement, this time, this focus, this calling. And it's always how it happens. So Dr. Munroe was mentored by Les Brown. And that's when he became an international speaker. Les Brown taught him the game of motivational and international speaking. He was always a great speaker and a passionate teacher, but it was more within Christendom. But after meeting Les Brown, that inspired him. Les Brown got his first professional gig from Dr. George C. Frazier.
Wow.
He and Dr. George has been friends for over 60 years.
Wow.
So the I was mentored by Miles Munroe. I met Les Brown many years ago, but in 2017, while at a conference, the first Power Networking conference I actually went to, um, Miles Munroe spoke there. He's the
Mm.
person that spoke there the most times, the most request at the
Oh,
event,
wow.
right? So when I went there, I met a guy who purchased about 4 or 5 of my books. It was a bunch of books that he bought, and he was the driver for Les Brown. He's driving Les Brown home after picking him up from the airport, and he sees the books in the back. He picks up the book and says, "Wow, this is a great title. Where'd you get this book from?" So the driver, who's a friend of mine, and he says he tells him, "Here's Delano. I was at this event, saw him, and he says, you got this guy number." So Les Brown calls me. The rest is history. Les Brown mentors me.
Wow.
Then I saw a problem at the conference, and that was there was no real representation of millennials there.
Mm.
And being the person who wrote the book Refused to Live Talented and Broke, I realized that maybe there is an option for us to come under this type of environment and learn how to build a network. Because if I really understood the mechanics of building a network, I would have always had friends to help me when I fell back. There
Absolutely.
will always be somebody there to hold my back. And so I felt like this was important for a lot of entrepreneurs. And so then Dr. George started to mentor me as I started to help him.
Mm.
So there is a circle of influence that all captured the same ideas, the ideas that I had similar to all of these men. And so when a couple of years ago, doctors told me, said, listen, I want to make an announcement. I said, what's the announcement? He said, well, just let me know when you want to do it. I said, Doc, what's the announcement? So I can tell you when you want to do it. He said, well, I'm going to name you my successor.
Wow.
And so I was a little bit taken aback. I've always knew that this could happen, but
Hmm.
I wasn't sure, you know.
Right.
And so I just served. I just served for 7 years.
Wow.
No pay. I didn't ask for salary,
Mm.
but I just served. And he just said it. He said, "Hey, listen, this is what I want us to do." And so I think it's important for us to, number one, always understand the process of how things get used to how God does things, so that when you see those signs, you can release the reins and you can just let go, because you know God's got it. He's in it. And once
Wow.
that's confirmed, you just let God do his thing. You
Mm.
just let him do his thing. And so it's a big responsibility, to actually take something that's an event that has changed Black America for 25 years. Next year will be the 25th year.
Oh,
And
wow.
so for me to come in, I think I was born to do this. I just got off the phone with him about 2 hours ago. I was talking about some of the changes, and there's not a one person who I called either to speak or somebody, someone notable. We were just talking to Ben Vereen, who saw him speak. Was like, man, I got to come to y'all's conference. So I just finished getting all of his stuff and going to put him on the site as someone who's going to be there. So it's just an amazing thing. It is so good when you wait on, when you try to go and step out and do it yourself. You don't have the view. You don't have the peripheral. You don't
Right.
have the aerial view. You don't know all these different things. So just wait, and God will make it happen. That's all I
Wow,
can say.
wow, wow. Did y'all hear that? I'm telling you, time has just fleeted away from us and time is winding down. Tell people, first of all, how they can connect to the Power Networking Experience and Expo, and tell them what can they get? You know what I mean? Is there
Yeah.
any deal you're giving them? What you want to offer them or give them? Tell them right now so they can run and get there today.
Yeah, you know what? There's some things. So you can go to the powernetworkingex.com. That's the website. There's some changes that's happening on the website. We've changed the prices to make it more affordable, but we've also added a ton of value. For example, a lot of entrepreneurs are in different areas of entrepreneurship. You could be an athlete and be an entrepreneur, understanding how to not only just manage and maximize your money, but also how to invest that money properly into whether it's real estate or whether it's a franchise or whether it's your own ideas, turning those products and services into something that you can put in the market. So we're going to have 72 free workshops available. Right. So if, for example, if you're in fashion, right, you have a workshop that's telling you about the beginnings of fashion. And if you've been in it for a while and you need to up your game or get to the next level, we'll have individuals who are in the game who can tell you how to get your clothes hung on celebrities, right? How to get celebrity endorsements and to get them to wear your clothes. So all these different things will be in each of these industries. 12 new industries we added. So it gives us a wider range of who can come to the actual event. And so what I would like for you to do is, go and check out the powernetworkingex.com. You're going to go there and now do me this one favor. Go there on Monday, this coming Monday, because the prices will be lower. All right. So that's when you could get. I know you like the hookup, so I'm giving you the hookup. I'm giving you the 411, so you can get the hookup to be at the conference. It's going to be an amazing time. We specialize in helping young entrepreneurs and young business and small business owners to get from 5 figures to 6. And if you're already doing 6 figures, you want to crack that 7-figure ceiling. We help you to do that by having mentors and coaches available at the conference and even after the conference. So it's an ecosystem. It's a network of people that can help you to not only make products and define your service and brand yourself properly, but also mentors that can walk you through the process of being good stewards over the money that you have, and you can invest it in yourself and in your business to get to those those goal points. So that's my offer to you. Go there on Monday. You're going to see a lower offering there. That's going to be the best time to do it, and I can't wait to see you.
Wow, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right here, leading from the future, from the one and only Delano A. Johnson, now the president of the Power Network Experience and Expo. And guess what? The CEO of the House of Creativity and Clubhouse. And guess who we have next to him? Monique Lisa Johnson, the COO. That's right, of the House of Creativity, too. All right. And guess what, folks? I get to work with Delano A. Johnson. Can you believe it? He has
Yeah.
pulled his brother on up in there to help and work with him.
Oh
It is
yeah.
a pleasure to work with this brother. Last year, he's so amazing. To see him in another role, I'm telling y'all, God has truly anointed him, blessed him for this
Amen.
occasion. And
Amen.
we just thank God for everything that
Amen.
they're doing. All right. So listen, stay tuned. You're going to see more, hear more, and it's going to be wonderful. Also, I want to end this right now. Don't want to invite all of you to make sure you come to the Leaders Live Generously Prayer Breakfast, August the 30th, 2025. Guess who also going to be speaking there? Delano A. Johnson. It's going to be fantastic. We've got speakers, we've got singers, we've got a whole bunch of stuff coming down. You want to go to the Prayer Breakfast of Champions.com. All right, register. We've been looking for a couple of more speakers. All I'm looking for is about 2 more speakers, and I should be good to go. All right. But listen, you want to get it because tickets are going fast. I promise you. So you better get in while you can fit in. Okay. No question about it. So I'm so happy you tuned in today. Listen, Delano A. Johnson, thank you, man. Monique Lisa Johnson, thank you so much. We have so much that we've got to do, and our time has just ran out. But I want to
Yeah.
ask you, would you please come back because we still got more to talk about her books and your book.
Yeah.
Man, we didn't even get into that book. That book itself, people
Woo.
need to get that book. We need to get some more folk out of what they're doing. So listen, please come back
Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
thank you so much for being here today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know how I tell you, I always give you an opportunity to get my book, Live Generously. You want to get that book, we give you an opportunity to get that today. And secondly, listen, share it with somebody else. All right, continually to lead, to love, and to give. We really want you to learn in leadership who is your successor. There is no success without a successor. So please get the book today and go ahead and start preparing as we move forward. And then we always tell you, every person born is born for a purpose. We want you to find your purpose so you can live your life. Because you know what I tell people? Life without purpose is like living life not at all. So listen, we always are going to lead from the future, not from behind. And we want you to always be on the cutting edge of leading from the future. I'm your host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon, and we'll see you next time as we lead from the future.
Thank you for joining us on another incredible episode of Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. We've had an amazing journey exploring visionary leadership and inspiring insights. If you're passionate about sharing your story and ideas on our show, we'd love to have you as a guest. Simply reach out to us via email at thevictorychurchint@gmail.com. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we invite you to support us by contributing. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each. You can contribute through 3 convenient ways. The first is Cash App. That's right, $Anthony D. Shannon, or $The Victory Church INT. You can also download the V Church app. Search for us on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Follow the prompts and make your contribution. Whether you contribute $1,000 or any amount, every donation makes a difference. Go ahead and support us today. For more information and to stay connected, please visit leaderslivegenerously.com. We appreciate your support in advancing our mission. Well, thank you for being a part of this incredible community. Join us again next time as we lead from the future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon.